What's up, and welcome in to Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Thanks so much for downloading the podcast and checking us out on YouTube, youtube.com. Look for Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment to everything we do at Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. We're presented by the fine folks over at Advantage Dealer Group. Make sure that you look for your advantage at Advantage Dealer Group. They get everything: Toyota, Chevy, Acura, Cadillacs, Buick, GMC. They got all the brands. And you know what they also have? They have great service and no nonsense. So check them out, Advantage Dealer Group. I'm so excited about this weekend for a number of reasons. But the number one reason is that we get a chance to see the Illini in a big spot. And we turn now to Mr. Illini, the man of the hour, the analyst for the Fighting Illini on the Illini Sports Network. He'll be there courtside Indianapolis to see the Illini in living color against UConn with a chance to go to the national championship. The great Deon Thomas back with us here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Sir, I appreciate the time.
Always, Jay. As I told you, brother, you need me, I'm here. I'm happy to be the Robin to your Batman.
I like the idea that you called your shot, though. You said, "Oh, I'll be talking to you in a couple of weeks." You told me, like, right before the Houston game, like, "Oh yeah, I'll call. We'll be talking again." And guess what? Prophecy is amazing during this time of year. That you had it. You said that you'd be calling, and here we are, man. I want to get your thought first about Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight. I want you to tell me either the Houston game or Iowa game. Which game do you think the Illini played better in?
Oh, wow. Two great games.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Illinois' second half in the Iowa game was lights out. I mean, what they did, shutting down that Iowa offense, shutting down Sturts, who is, in my opinion, if he's not a lottery pick, he's pretty doggone high up there in the draft. That kid is phenomenal. But I would have to say, as far as a complete game, the Houston game. Houston, of course, was the favorite, even though it was close. So I think they had it like 2.5 points or something of that nature. But Houston has this aura about themselves. And if you remember what they did to Illinois 3 years ago, that Kofi Coburn led team, I mean, they beat us like we stole something.
Yeah.
And they really showed us what a top program looked like, what a team that would go to the Final Four would look like, and how they would have to play. And I mean, they kind of took us behind the shed and spanked us. So coming into this game against Houston, and basically on their home court, playing in the city of Houston, for me personally, I wanted a little get back. And, and as we're walking around down there, Jay, I have our fans are like, Deon, what do you think? What do you think? Everybody's nervous. And I told them the same thing I told you. No, we got this. If we could withstand the vaulted idea of Houston's defense and how physical they play, if we can match that or surpass that physicality, then I thought we were 10 to 15 points better from an offensive standpoint. Their guards are really good. As I may have mentioned before, Emmanuel Sharp, I've known him since he was a baby. His dad and I played together for Maccabi Tel Aviv when we were there, won back-to-back EuroLeague championships. So I know what he brings. I think we all know, what a Kelvin Sampson coach team is going to look like. The little guard, I don't know why Fleming is awesome. But I thought if Illinois could control those two players and how they defended them, I thought was lights out. Cam Cocker, take your hat off to him. Coach did it, came up with a great game plan. The players on the floor executed it, and they did that for 40 minutes. And that's why that game is so sticks out in my head. There's just a few other little, emotional ties that come with having lost to them for that pushes this over the top for me.
Yeah, I was so impressed, and I think everybody was impressed that you can go, as you mentioned, beat Houston pretty much at the crib, and
Yeah.
as if and took it over like it was champagne. From my TV, sounded like it was in Champagne. That the Houston crowd was out of it, even though it was in Houston. That was great. I was thinking about Ben McCollum. the head coach for Iowa, obviously being in the Valley, I saw his team at Drake, and
Mhm.
they were running four corners, man. They were draining the clock. It was great because it was just pass to the right side, pass to the left side, pass to the corner, pass to the left wing, cut, and then back door or either the three. There wasn't much to it. They were playing 1950s basketball, and you could do that in the Valley, drain the clock, and just play defense on the other end. Now in the
Yep.
big, you can see them sped up a little bit. It's a little bit of a difference in style for Iowa.
Yes.
Iowa couldn't do anything about it. I was so impressed by the size and the depth and the defensive prowess of the for Illinois, separating themselves physically against Iowa. I thought it was a big key.
No, it was huge. It was huge. Because Iowa, contrary to what people might think, is a very physical team. They're not a very big team,
Hmm.
but they come out and they hit you, they bump you, they get up in you defensively. And if you allow yourself to be rattled, then you're going to be in trouble. I mean, Iowa had one of the top defenses in the Big Ten and in the country. So we look at them from a scoring standpoint because they could put up points as well, but they just lack that size. And I think this is where Illinois kind of took over. When they jumped out, and Brad mentioned it, we got punched and we were a little bloody. And I was on the radio with Brian Barnhart. I was like, "Will we please put the ball inside?" There's nothing anyone can do if we put the ball inside to David Mirkovic. If we give the ball to Tommy, there's nothing they can do. Now, I will say, first half we got to the paint, we got to the rim, not just to the paint, and we just missed a bunch of layups. And Iowa made you pay. You missed, they made you pay on the other end. But that
Yeah.
second half, the size, like you said, just took over. The ball went inside to Tommy, went inside to Merck, and then that opened up outside shots, that opened up lanes to penetrate after the ball swung from one side to the next. When it came back, now you had driving lanes. And when you have that positional size that Illinois has, then if you can't match it, you're in a world of trouble, especially when they're playing as aggressive on both ends of the court as they were.
Deon, the rebounding edge against Iowa was eye popping. But the other thing is, it's just like just the little things, like the lockdown defense from three, where Iowa was not able to get the kind of looks that they wanted either. I just know, as far as the toughness from the foul line down in the painted area, that's going to make you proud as a player to just be able to
Yes.
see that kind of feeling. Like you score all day. I mean, I know the game's opened up, but just the little things, the intangibles on the margins, you're being able to kind of really outmuscle and outwit the other team. I just think that that's great.
Oh no, it's awesome, and this is one of the things that why everyone is so intrigued, including myself, about Illinois being able to win a national championship game.
Hmm.
Of course, they can score. I mean, of course, if you look, go by Ken Palm, they have the highest rated offensive efficiency in the history of the Ken Palm and how he does his in-depth analytics. But like you said, it comes down to those things that are taking place on the floor. You know, Kylan Boswell is an excellent on-ball defender, plays with physicality, gets up in guys, uses his hands extremely well. But let's be honest, Kylan Boswell is about 6'2". And Sturch was able to get some shots off over him and get some things going. What did Coach do? He made the adjustment and put the taller Stojakovic on him. Stojakovic blocked the shot twice as he was trying to get his three-point shot off, but yet he was able to get over those screens and things of that nature. And when you penetrate, now you got to penetrate and you got to see Big Tommy or Big Z down there. And it just changes the whole trajectory of how this team's defense. Being able to have those two guys on the perimeter and Keaton Wagler as well defend the way they do. And then you have the 7-footers down low. So that's where I made my butter, man. Don't
Yeah,
come in this paint.
I
Don't come
know.
in this paint. The ball is going flying somewhere else, or either you and your body going to fly somewhere else. When I had big Andy Petty down there, and
Yeah,
not to mention Shelly Clark, you
yeah.
weren't coming in the paint without playing for it. And Illinois does it in a different way. But Tommy uses his body. Big Z is sending your ball into the third, fourth row whenever he gets a hand on it.
Keaton Wagler, I want to talk to you about him. Um, I want to know what that looks like on the next level. Do you feel like this is a next level player? You know what I mean? Like, like doing it now and a catalyst for the Illini. What does that look like on the next level based on his skill set?
Well, the great thing about Keaton Wagler is he's unflappable. You're not going to speed him up. He plays at his pace, and at 6'6", 6'7", a true point guard with vision. Now, when you're on this level, this college level, you got people all crowded around. That paint is crowded, so he can't get past guys. He doesn't use speed and athleticism to get by guys. He uses his head.
Mhm.
That gets you leaning one way, the little nice little spin move he has going back in both directions to be able to get the ball off and the shot off with both hands. And when you have guys attacking, now he's able to make the pass because of his size and his court vision and IQ. So you say, how does it translate to the next level? I think
Mhm.
it translates even better on the next level. The only thing he will need, Keaton's probably about 190 pounds right now. He needs about another 20, 25 pounds. And
Mhm.
not necessarily of weight, but of muscle. And once he's able to deal with that even more, and Keaton's a sneaky athlete. I mean, I've seen him get up and like slam the basketball, not that fingertip dunks and things like that, but like really put it in the rim. So he's sneaky athletic, and once he's able to get the body to go along with the brain, I think he's going to be lights out. Now, as I told someone before, will he be a 10-time All-Star? I don't know. I don't. We'll see what that looks like. But what I will tell you is this kid should be, and I believe will be, productive for 10 to 15 years easy, because it's not just the physical aspect. His mind is so much further ahead than guys that are actually in the league now. I mean, I'd prefer to watch him than watch some of the people playing point guard now in the
I,
NBA.
I totally understand why. I totally understand
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
We were talking before about Brad Underwood, and I told you how there's some fans that were calling from downstate, calling my show with Cap about Underwood, and not sure. I mean, how do you like me now? You're in the Final Four, right, for
exactly.
Underwood. But what really resonated with me, Dion, is that I know that Lon Kruger didn't say that. That Lon was a good coach. Bill Self, Bruce Weber, John Gross. No one has ever said what Brad said, saying that the Illini was his dream job. And I just thought, as emotional as he's been, he's trying to hold it in as much as possible. But his story of saying, "Hey, man, I've been at the grind for a long time, and I missed a lot of stuff, family wise, because of basketball, because I'm chasing my dream, and I've got a family that supported me in my dream to be able to help Illinois get to this point and win a national championship." Man, Dion, you know how big that is. The mercenary coaches that just go and they vagabonds. They go from place to place, 3 years here, 4 years there, go another spot. For Underwood, it's personal. It's more than just a job. He wants to win at Illinois, and that I think for any Illinois fan, that's got to feel good that this is a place and destination he wants to be in.
And if it and Jay Hood, I'm going to add on. If it doesn't, then they are not true Illini fans. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, because like you said, this is a man that has dedicated his life. And other than my coach, Lou Henson, I think we may have been kind of a stepping stone for some of these guys. Maybe not for Bruce or John because they were making a step up to from mid majors, but so like you said, to have someone that wants to be there, that wants to raised his family there. I mean, Tyler went to Illinois, played at Illinois for God's sakes. His daughter went to Illinois. So they have Illinois blood in them. And as he was at Western, and he and I had this conversation, he was like, Dion, he was like, when I was at Western for those 12 years, and then my next question was, I don't know how did you stay at Western for 12 years?
I
I'm like,
know.
no, bro, no knock on Macomb, but man, I've been there. There ain't a whole lot there. So
No,
you
it's
were
not.
really in the muck, toiling, and he was like, yeah, and he was like, and I was looking at what you guys were doing at Illinois, and he was like, and I've always wanted to be there. And out of anything that anyone, I tell people when they be like, man, this guy didn't come to Illinois. Or he's leaving Illinois. He's going somewhere else. I said, well, that's okay because I want people that want to be here.
Hmm.
those are the people I want to go in the foxhole with, and which is one of the reasons I love Brad Underwood. And he told me this story about him and McCollum wanting to be at Illinois when he had just gotten there. He's had opportunities to leave us. I mean, a couple of summers ago when they went to the Elite Eight, you read it was all in the newspaper. Kansas State wanted to throw the whole thing at him, and that's his alma mater. But yet he chose to stay with us. So if they're coming calling from downstate, they're calling from the moon. If those people don't understand that we have a gym, or recognize now what his vision and what he was trying to do, then J Hood, they better get on. They better get on board, man, because we want people that want to be with us, and
Mm-hmm.
he wants to be with us.
Yeah, I just think that that's an awesome story. How many people hitting you up for tickets for Indy?
Woo! Man, my phone has been ringing off the hook, man. Jay, man, and I tell people, y'all do the work. I'm a development officer, man. I don't work in ticketing. I have zero to do with tickets. And to be quite honest, if your donations ain't right, you ain't got nothing to do with it either. You have to explain to people. The
Uh-huh.
NCAA only gives us a certain amount of tickets. So you got to get into play, So anybody that's listening, we love all our Illini people, but supporting the program is important. And when you do that, you get more. Because I didn't realize, of course, now at this Final Four level, the number of corporate people that come in, corporations that come in and suck up all of the tickets. I
Yeah.
had no idea, and so I just learned this. So it dawned on me, um, because I thought there would have been more to go around, and then I learned the minuscule amount that the programs actually get. So, I love my Illini folks that are going to be there, that have chosen to buy tickets from the secondary market or that received maybe, from our allocation or whatever we were able to give. I just want to see as many people there, in orange as humanly possible because, like I know, this doesn't come around very often.
No.
And so when it does, it's just great to see, all of the supporters and our people travel so well. Illini Nation travels everywhere everywhere these guys go, whether it's football, basketball, or whatever. They're
Mhm.
always there. So I'm expecting Indy to be bathed in orange this weekend.
I think it will be. I'm sure that you have gone back and some of those people asked for tickets said, "Hey, what about those regular season games that we asked you to come to? Some of those non-conference. You had an opportunity to come. It's like, nah, I'm gonna go. Now you're in the big stage. Now they want to come. You see how that works?
Exactly. And that's why you get in with things. Well, to be quite honest, I'm gonna say that's why you get in when things aren't as good.
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough, and people laugh, not laugh, but they're surprised when I tell them this. At our darkest times during the end of Bruce and some of those times during John, we were still 14, 15,000 strong in the
Hmm.
State Farm Center. Our fan base is normally extremely loyal, whether it's attending games and things like that. But supporting the program in different ways gets you, let's just be honest, gets you different options and
Yeah.
opportunities. But it's good to see that people have been willing to buy tickets. I mean, they still have to buy them through us, but you just get them through our allocation. But
Yes.
they've been willing to go on the secondary market because even some of our, donors that I told them that unfortunately, I'm sorry, we can't do it because we just don't have that number of tickets. They were like, oh, well, we're still going to be there.
Yeah.
And that's what you want because unfortunately, we're not in control of that. And that's the part that I had to explain to people.
I'm looking forward to this matchup against UConn.
Yes.
As we saw just an unbelievable shot for them to get into the Final Four. UConn, I watched that game twice against Duke just to get ready for this game against the Illini, just to see how UConn operates. Boy, they are a team that never gives up, Deon. Like they're down in the game, no slump shoulders, no head down. They're finding a way to try to get to the rim, and they're still running their offense. And so I just wanted to get your thoughts. Like the Illini is going to win this game if what? What is the fill in that blank for us?
Well, their communication on defense, their physicality on defense, the emotional and intellectual connection that they have on defense is going to be huge. As you mentioned, this is a team in UConn that runs a pretty specific, I mean, not specific, special offense. They run a lot of sets. So they have really good players on both the interior as well as the exterior. And they're not uber athletic,
Right.
but so you have to make sure that when they're running their sets, your communication is in point, you're in position where you need to be. There have to be the second and third helps because things are going to come out of their rotation. And then when you're on the offensive end, be patient. You'll be able to find some things against this defense, and to get and be particularly be able to get the shots that you want. They're not going to turn you over a whole lot unless you give them the basketball. So make sure you take care of the basketball and then do what you do. Illinois just needs to be who Illinois has been the last 2 weekends, defending the way they do, run their offense, rebounding the basketball, and so I feel really good about the chances and the opportunities that Illinois is going to have in this game, as long as they continue to stay focused, and I believe they will.
I don't know how they do it in Stores, Connecticut, coach. I don't know how to do it. Like, they've made themselves a blue blood. Women's
Yeah,
basketball, men's basketball. Hurley does a great job. He's insane, but what coach isn't? For him to be
very
able to
true.
get the program that he's got right there, that's why it's going to be so much fun. And I think that the Illini have a great. If Illini had to do anything different except to be even sharper on what they've done in previous games, they don't have to
Oh
have a
yeah.
different complexion. I think they can win the ball game.
I agree 100%. I
Yeah.
mean, we lost to them earlier in the year by 13, but we had Thomas Live coming back after tonsillitis or having his tonsils removed. This Keaton Wagler was not the player that he is now, was not playing with the confidence or the foresight that he's playing with now. So this Illinois team was different in the beginning. And I'm going to say David Merkovich wasn't the player that he is now as well. So we're a different team. And you're 100% right. You don't have to step outside of the box of who you are in order to win this basketball game. Maintain that toughness because they're going to come and try to punch you in the mouth. Maintain the focus over the 40, 45, 40, 50 minutes, whatever it takes. Make sure that you stay focused on what your game plan is. Offensively, Illinois is good enough to beat them offensively. Defensively, we have to make sure that we're physical enough, and as I mentioned, communicated enough and connected enough to be able to deal with all of the different sets, and motions that they run. So no, they don't have to step outside themselves too much. And I believe wholeheartedly that we're gonna win this game, to be honest.
Well, coach, next time we talk, we'll be see if we can pull you out of whatever party you're going to be at after the after the win. Because on this program, it's win or win. That'll be the next time I talk to you. There is no L word. That's
Nope.
next time you continue to win, that's when we'll talk again.
All right, so call me on Sunday as we get ready for Monday, and then I'll
Okay.
talk to you after the end of party. I'll even put it on video so we can all party together, J Hood.
That's going to be wild. It is going to be wild. We've been waiting for a long time for this, man.
Yeah, we
And so
have. Yeah, we have.
it just the story, the basketball is great, but the story resonates with me so much from Underwood, from the players that he has been able to bring together, for the team to come together the way it has been. This is not a Cinderella story. This is supposed to be fate for this team.
Yes. I
So that's
I love that. I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that, and I'm with you. I believe that wholeheartedly. I mean, all of the pieces have fallen into place,
Mm-hmm.
and I really, I'm talking about in my heart of hearts. And I told these people last week when we were in Houston, I was like, in my heart of hearts, I think this is the year.
And that's something. Well, let's talk again. Looking forward to Saturday's game and moving forward after that. So let's get ready for it.
Yes, sir. 100%, baby. Let's go. Go Illini.
All right, coach. Always. I appreciate your time.
Got it. My pleasure, Jay.
All right. Deon Thomas with us here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. So good to hear from Deon Thomas here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood, presented to you by the Advantage Dealer Group. Hey, listen, let me save you some time. If you're shopping for a car and already bracing yourself for the process, don't. Just start with the Advantage Dealer Group: Toyota, Chevy, Acura, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. They got all the brands. What they don't want to have is the nonsense, no drawn out negotiations, no surprises when the paperwork shows up, just clear numbers, honest conversations, and people who understand that you got things to do. Buying a car shouldn't feel like you're breaking out X's and O's. Wherever you are in the Chicagoland area, make it easy on yourself. Find your advantage at Advantage Dealer Group. Just go to Google, look for Advantage Dealer Group, and find the advantage that is near you. Oh, can't wait for the Final Four. Of course, we'll have coverage continuing on the Illini and everything else that's happening in the Final Four. UConn against Illinois. That is going to be an incredible matchup. When you think about right now, there's no question that UConn's a blue blood. We always look at Duke and Kentucky and UCLA and teams over the years, but UConn is part of that blue blood, not only in women's college basketball, but also men's too. Dan Hurley's done a great job, but now what can Underwood and the Illini do something? Can he do something about it? What's the number? I think it's Illini 2.5 point favorite. So looking forward to the Illini moving on and getting to the national championship game and having a big spotlight there. And we got so much on Under the Hood. Know that if you are a subscriber to Under the Hood, you know we've got baseball conversation with Russ Dorsey from Apple TV, and does a great job on Major League Baseball Network. So check out our preview of the Major League Baseball season. If you missed it, go back and check that out. If you are part of the Hoodie Club, which is the exclusive subscribers for Under the Hood, Cousin Wiley and I got a chance to talk about media beefs and talked about Jaden Ivey and talked about Tiger Woods. It's all part of it as well. Please, if you're a subscriber, you could also be part of our exclusive next tier club on the Hoodie Club, available for Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. Just click it and you're right in. And of course, now this being the month of April, a lot more on the NFL draft of the Bears. We'll have plenty of coverage on that. And I want your comments about what you think the Bears should do or your favorite NFL team. We're expanding it out to everyone as we get ready for the NFL draft in the month of April. So we're going to be busy this month. So make sure that you are liking and sharing and subscribing to everything we do here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. And don't forget the Cap and J Hood Morning Show. A lot of you are here because of our morning show, 6 to 9 a.m. Central on ESPN 1000. Of course, you can download the ESPN Chicago app too. Looking forward to talking to Deon again. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to talk to Deon if the Illini can get past UConn. I think it's possible. But we'll talk to him anyway right here and talk to you on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood. So long, everybody.